A man suddenly starts vomiting uncontrollably on the highway. Meanwhile, the radiation meter next to him is reading dangerously high levels. The people behind him are terrified. Turning around, they see that nuclear contamination is rushing toward them. Panic-stricken people start fleeing. Inside a supermarket, people frantically grab food and water. In an instant, all transportation comes to a halt. Everyone is desperate to leave before the nuclear radiation arrives. Even doctors abandon their work and start running for their lives. This disaster was triggered by a 6.1 magnitude earthquake. A nearby nuclear power plant was also affected. The soon-to-retire plant manager rushes back in an emergency. A worker reports that a valve has developed a crack, causing coolant to leak out. Jack suggests immediately evacuating the surrounding population, but the new plant manager doesn't want to cause a panic. He orders a few workers to replace the valve. Unexpectedly, they end up welding the valve shut. As a result, pressure builds up with no release. More coolant starts leaking. Jack realizes that if nuclear fuel comes into contact with air, a massive amount of hydrogen gas will be produced. Without timely cooling, an explosion is inevitable. The president, upon hearing the news, orders an evacuation of nearby residents, but the prime minister objects. He fears that evacuating 3 million people would cause even greater panic. Helplessly, the president decides to conceal the news. Meanwhile, the workers inside the plant realize the severity of the situation. As they try to escape, they discover that the nuclear plant's gates have been locked. Furious, the workers desperately pry at the gates. At this moment, the pressure inside the pipes is reaching its limit, just as they force the gate open. But the next second, a massive explosion hurls debris into the air. Nearby residents remain unaware that the nuclear plant has exploded. Firefighters soon arrive at the scene, but the radiation levels are too high. No one dares to enter for rescue. The workers can only rely on themselves to escape. When Jack makes it out, he angrily questions the firefighters. "Why aren't you going in to rescue people? If we don't inject water into the reactor immediately, everyone will be doomed." Without hesitation, he grabs rescue equipment and rushes back inside. His words snap the fire chief to his senses. He immediately organizes his team to begin the rescue operation. Soon, fire trucks surround the nuclear plant, continuously spraying water to cool the reactor. But Jack notices something strange. The fire trucks are driving several kilometers away to fetch fresh water for cooling. Even though the ocean is right next to the nuclear plant,